So round 3 of the U.S. Open Cup largely features the USL versus the MLS. And it's going on for 2 days. So yesterday was day 1 of round 3, and then today some more matches going on. And day 1 was exciting. I did not think that day 1 was going to be as thrilling as it was. You had 2 teams that made history last night. Detroit City FC beating Columbus, which is one of the pioneers for the MLS. I believe they're the first ever professional soccer team, the first ever professional traditional football team in American sports. I believe that's the Columbus Crew. But it didn't matter to Detroit City FC because, Detroit City FC, they're basically making a name of their own. They're trying to establish their own selves in America as a real legitimate football club. And they hosted Columbus, and Detroit City was actually looked like the team that was the pioneer of professional soccer in America. And you had Omaha Union. I believe they're part of the USL 1 league. In the USL, you have the USL Champions League. That's the highest level of the USL. And then the second level is USL 1. And I believe Omaha is part of USL 1. But they look like the MLS team against Chicago. Now, that game was really close. It was really dramatic. It was really interesting. They went to extra times, and the game couldn't be decided in extra time. So they had a big kick out, a shootout. And that's how Omaha won. They made history with that. Then they also had the 2 Miami teams going at it. You have Miami FC of the USL and Inter Miami CF of the MLS. Now, the thing that stands out to me the most about Miami, it's just amazing to see how one roster change totally has changed the team in a positive way. Leonardo Campana has done it again. He did it again last night. He was the man of the match. He was the savior of the match. Can Leonardo Campana be to Phil Neville the same way what Tom Brady was to Bill Belichick? Can Leonardo Campana be to the Miami organization similar to what Landon Donovan was for LA Galaxy? Only time will tell. But one thing I do know, he is the face. He is the one that's going to take Miami to the promised land. He is the one that's going to lead Miami to the MLS Cup playoffs. He is the one that's going to lead Miami to MLS Cup championship. He is the one that's going to lead Miami to a US Cup championship, CONCACAF championship, Liga MX tournament championship, the League Cup championship. He looks like the one as of now. Will it actually happen? I don't know. Only time will tell. Also, you had other dramatic games. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, they went down to the wire. I believe Cincinnati scored 2 goals late in extra time. Then you had Houston and Rio Grande. They also went down to the wire. Houston broke the tie in extra time. I mean, not extra time, but in extra minutes. Houston broke the tie. So day 1 or round 3 proved one thing. It proved that even though the MLS is the league with more money, the talent gap between the 2 leagues is not wide. Because for those who are not real familiar with traditional American football, you would think that the MLS is similar to the Power 5 in college football, and that the USL is similar to the Group of 5 in college football. And for those of you who are not familiar with college football in America, the Power 5 is like the top conferences, similar to the Big 5 European football leagues. Like the Big 5 European football leagues, you got Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, League One, Serie A. In college football, you got SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12. And then you got Group of 5, like Sun Belt, American Conference, Mountain West Conference, those type of conference. Those who are not really into professional soccer will view the MLS as Power 5 and USL as Group of 5. But last night, it didn't look like that at all. It looked like an even playing field. And big ups to ESPN and the Disney Corporation as they look to revive their image as being the worldwide leader in sports. Like, this ESPN Plus element has been a huge game changer. Like, it's a strong possibility that traditional football fans in America wouldn't have been able to watch these games if ESPN Plus didn't exist. Most of us would have been forced to just watch NBA or NHL last night. These are the games for day 2 of round 3, the games that I'll be looking forward to. You got Rochester versus FC Motown, like an upstate New York versus Detroit. I've never seen any of these two teams play before, but this sounds like a potential regional rivalry if it doesn't exist already. And because it's coming on the ESPN Plus app, I'm definitely going to be watching it just to see what these two clubs are about. And you got Madison versus Minnesota. Now, this could be a similar matchup to what we saw yesterday with Detroit Columbus, Chicago Omaha. Can Madison do what Detroit and Omaha did yesterday? Now, Minnesota is a better football club than Chicago and Columbus, but they are still beatable. The Seattle Sounders showed us how they can be beaten earlier this season, and Austin also showed how they can be beaten. Minnesota is generally a team that doesn't play to lose. They mostly play defensive. Like, they're the type of team where they don't mind the game ending in a scoreless draw based on how they played in most of their games this season. So in order to get the win, Madison, you have to be the aggressor. You have to be the team that scores first. I believe that if you score first, Madison, you will win the game, because I don't believe that Minnesota is built to play from behind. They're the type of team that plays prevent defense. Like, they'll prevent you from scoring and they will score first. And once they score that one time, then for the rest of the match, they're just playing lockdown defense, making sure you don't score. So they're that type of team that plays prevent scoring. But if you're more of the aggressor and you're constantly in the box trying to score, I believe that's how you beat them. And also got an in-state matchup, San Antonio, Austin. I'm also going to be looking towards that. Austin's been red hot to start the season. They're probably the most surprising team in all of American professional soccer sports, traditional football sports. Will San Antonio be able to slow them down? San Antonio just came off of like an impressive win over their rival El Paso, so that should be interesting. Greenville, Charlotte. Now, if you're a local resident in like the northern region of South Carolina, I'm sure you're aware that new Charlotte owner David Tepper, he hasn't gone off to a good start with local South Carolina residents over his Rock Hill controversy. Could the Greenville triumph prove to the state that they are the ones that's worth supporting instead of Charlotte FC? You also got Atlanta Chattanooga. Can Chattanooga win over an ATL squad that's noticeably weaker without star Joseph Martinez? So that's the games that I'm looking forward to this afternoon and this evening. And before I sign off here, one thing I want to say, if you haven't done so already, check out my Blogspot page. This is where it's brand new. It's something that I just started, and it's something that I'm going to be continuing to do more often. It's called AkWu Notes, where I just give my open opinion, and I'm just blogging about professional soccer, MLS, USL related news and topics. So if you haven't gone and checked that out yet, go ahead and do so. Click the link in the description box to do so.